first, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I was born in Gaston, Alabama. How many people know where Gaston, Alabama is? So, I was born in 1952, so that makes me 66 years old, and no, I know I don't look like I'm 66, and I know you didn't know I had swagger like I have. But I do. I'll talk about the Jedi mind trick and how the media tricks you every day to believe stuff. But in Gaston, Alabama, it was tough. Civil rights. I never went to a black school. I went to white school. Was the first. My mother went to high school with Coretta King and took up that movement. And so I was one of the first. In junior high, Gaston High, any of you heard Judge Moore that ran for Senate in Alabama? Ran for the Senate race. Oh, yeah. Judge Moore. So Judge Moore went to Gaston High School, certainly ahead of me. But I went down to Gaston, and ladies, the reason why Alabama defeated this judge is 98% of all black women in Alabama that was registered voted. Right. Give them a round of applause. 98%. That's a lot of commitment there. And so, throughout my life, racism has played a role. But I was poor. I lived on a dirt road. We had an outside bathroom with a dirt road. And now I'm up here talking, right? Yeah. Two beautiful daughters. So you can do it, is my point. My point is, don't be a victim. You can do this. But it requires 10 things, and I'm gonna talk about some of them. And you can find those that like to read books. You can find this one, my first book, The DNA of Achievers, 10 Traits of Highly Successful Professionals. 10 traits, and it starts with passion. You know, if you don't have passion what you're doing, you might as well quit. Because when you live your passion, you never work a day in your life. I don't work, I have fun all day. I don't work, I don't like working, I'm lazy. I like people working for me. But it starts with passion, and anything you do, entrepreneurship, music industry, whatever it is, let it be your passion. So right now, I want you just for a moment to say to yourself, what is my passion? Most people don't know what their passion is. They keep running, going around and around and have no clue. That thing that excites them, that thing that makes them get up in the morning, keeps them moving and makes them want to work 7 days a week. What is that for you? My passion is to educate and to motivate. That's my passion, to educate and motivate. But what is yours? Because when you have passion, the second trait is work ethics. Passion and work ethics coexist. You can't find someone that's passionate and doesn't have great work ethics, and you can't reversely find somebody with great work ethics that's not passionate. So you see how they coexist together. Work ethics and passion. Now I can tell when Beyonce's performing, I know when she starts to feel it. Well, I'm starting down feel it. You're supposed to kind of laugh and do something. Shit. They're so serious. You know, my book I just came out 2 weeks ago has gotten a lot of attention because I used this word colorism. And it was to make people uncomfortable because colorism exists all over the world. In Mexico, in Brazil, in Europe, India. And colorism is simply because of your shade of color, you're discriminated. Because of your shades of color. And again, all black women are beautiful, regardless of their shade. Unfortunately, we do discriminate. Colorism. And unfortunately, white folks do discriminate with black people because of colorism. And I'm so happy that it's making people talk about it. I'm an educator. I teach at Texas Southern University. It's my 10th year teaching at Texas Southern University. Most of you probably don't know, in the last 5 years I went back and got my MBA and PhD. So I'm an educator. Thank you. I'm an educator. I still have a record label, but that's now my second passion. I know my girls are here saying, shoot, bless music. They're like, this is my last project in music, and I hope to make it successful. It's my last project, though, in the music industry. I've been there, done that, and grateful for 25 great years of it. Grateful to have the #1 pop and R&B group in the history of music, Destiny's Child. Grateful to have the #1 gospel contemporary trio in the history of music, Trinity 5-7. And I just want to do it one more time because they're a hip-hop group. Just want to do it, see if I can do it one more time. That's what we're looking to do. So we're talking about these traits, right? And by the way, how many people here are entrepreneurs? Raise your hand. So I'm going to just quickly tell you some things because I teach media entrepreneurship in graduate school. There's a creative process called the who, the what, the why. That's the creative process. The who is the customer? What is the product, and why should they purchase it? So make sure you understand the who, the what, the why, the creative process. Next thing is about building this incredible team. And that's one of the traits of the DNA of achievers. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to have a great attorney. I almost thought there was a Omega hat, man. I almost thought there was a Q hat. I thought you were a Q now. Sorry, I got that second take like frat brother over there. But you have to have this incredible team. You have to have a great attorney. You got to have a great CPA. That is critical. Attorney, CPA. Got to have that. Might want to have a great relationship with your banker. Or a way of investing money. Some lady came up to me today and asked me, there she is. She says, I need to talk to you about some who's raising money for you. And I said, well, do you need money or you got money? She says, no, I need money. I said, well, hell, I need to go with you then. Because I need money too. But being an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur since 1980 actually. My former wife and I had a hair salon, the largest in Houston, black hair salon, headliners, for 17 years. We made our first $1 million in 1982. Beyonce was 1 year old. Yes. Be clear. All right. Beyonce didn't make me, I made her. All right. Be clear about that. Be clear. People get that kind of twisted, like I depend on her. I don't. They know I got a big ass office, drive a big ass Rolls Royce. I got a beautiful ass wife. How about that? But I love my daughters. I love what Beyonce has done with her career, and I'm very, very proud of her. Equally as proud with Solange because she chose a different path, and she strikes with a different direction of her sister, which made it 10 times harder, but she did it. And she did it her own way. And for those of you in the music, how many people in the music industry? Just remember that it's about the song. You have a whack song, you can be Beyonce or Solange or anybody else all day, it equals whack. It starts and ends with a great song. It really does. And if you're in the music industry and a female, it's about imaging. That's the second thing. Imaging is everything for the music industry, for females. So just remember that. So we're talking about building this team. Let's talk about strategy and planning. They didn't get the memo. Hey guys, can we shut everything down for a minute? All the photos, everything. Can we just shut it down for a minute? I'll be finished in about 10, 15 minutes. I just love when I control. All right. So we're talking about being strategic. You know, failure to plan is planning to fail, folks. You don't have a plan, and you don't know how you're going to get there. When you get on an airplane with a pilot, and then the pilot said, hey, we taking off. I don't know where the hell we going. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't get on an airplane and the pilot doesn't know where he's going. So a lot of you do just that. You're on an airplane every day. You have no damn idea where you're going. You just fly. And you're going to run out of gas and crash. And often you do. Often that happens with businesses. They run out of gas and crash because they had no strategic plan. You know, I used to say about working hard, but it's also about working smart.